tips. All right, so today I want to talk about a subject that I've actually been teaching to my teenagers and to my 8 to 12-year-old girls class that I am teaching for homeschool. I do like a group co-op on Thursdays. And I've been studying this book that is really eye-opening. It's really a quick read. They have it available on Audible, but it's called As You Think. And it's a recreation or a redo of the original book, which was As a Man Thinketh. And you may have heard of that one because it's kind of a common title. I read this book with my teenagers, mainly because we're teaching a philosophy class. So we wanted to teach these kids about how philosophies are created, or about how human beings interact with the world and that kind of thing. And so we decided to read this book called As You Think. I highly recommend anybody that's on a weight loss journey to read this book because it could be life-changing for you. I resonated with a lot of the information that was given in the book. A lot of it I've already come to on my own, and I was pleased to see that I was on the right path to changing the way my body is based on how my mind works. So basically, the premise of the book is that everything in your life, your circumstances, how your health is, every single thing is created right up here first. First, you have a thought, and the thought becomes an action becomes a habit, and a habit becomes the way you are. And I'm sure you've heard of that before. There's memes and things like that out there that talk about that subject. But what was really interesting to me was that I actually did that without even realizing that I did it. And I was telling my teens, I know that a few of them are going through some tough times, and some of them are really feeling depressed and down, and they just don't think that they're worth anything. And that is exactly where I was on December 31st, 2017. I had been telling myself over and over and over, to the point where I had become what I was telling myself, that I didn't matter to anyone, but I especially didn't matter to myself or to God or anybody that mattered, you know what I mean? And that I wasn't worth saving, and that I needed to escape my life. Now, I wasn't necessarily suicidal because I knew I couldn't do that to my kids. I'm just not mean enough to do that to another human being. But me, myself, I wanted to escape. I wanted to escape my physical body. I wanted to escape my circumstances. But I'll tell you what, on January 1st, 2017, the only thing I changed in my head about what I was telling myself on a daily basis was this seed of thought. I matter. And that was the only thing I changed the very first day. I decided I mattered enough to try and save myself. I mattered enough to try something new and see if it would work, even though a million things had not worked. And that little seed of I matter over time developed into something even greater than I ever could have imagined. And here I am now, not only mattering to myself, but mattering to 5,000 of you guys, and mattering to all of my friends and family, teaching a subject that is vital to so many people, and getting a chance to also talk about my belief in God and my relationship with God with whomever would like to hear about it, which apparently is a lot of you guys, which is awesome. Can I just say, such a relief to know that this world is still so full of such wonderful, great, amazing people. I have met so many wonderful people through this journey, and I'm so grateful for it. So if you guys can take anything away from our chat today, it's that you do matter. You do have control. You can change your life. You can overcome your situation. And your circumstance is created by you up here. So even if you're poor, or you're having a hard time with your house is a mess, things like that. Like they talk in the book, they talk about rich people have rich people thoughts. And it's kind of a silly thing to think about, but it really is true. Rich people think when they wake up in the morning, they have energetic thoughts, doing things kind of thoughts, and motivation thoughts, things moving forward. So if we can just change our thoughts and the way that we think about life, we can change our circumstances or even just the way we view them. Because I'll tell you what, my financial circumstances have not changed, not immensely. My busyness has not changed. Everything that I'm doing is still the same. But me, I am different. And so I can deal with all of my problems in a different way than I could before when I thought I didn't matter. Now that I do matter, I approach things differently and I think about things differently. And that is how I am able to stay on this way of eating. People think that I have like the best willpower or whatever. No, really, it's just about my thoughts. I spend a lot of time thinking about making good food choices and how that will make me feel good. And I don't spend a lot of time thinking about what I can't have or missing things. I think about what I enjoy. And I think about what makes me happy. And I try to find new things that I enjoy and new things that make me happy and new foods to try and things like that. And I try and focus my thoughts on those things, on the positive, on the moving forward things, rather than dwelling on the I can't, it's miserable, I'm hungry, this is too hard, nobody can really do this. I let those thoughts just go. If they come in my head, I just say, no, you gotta go. You can't be in my head. And it's just a practice thing. You just have to practice it over and over and over. It's that silly thing where you get up in the morning and you look yourself in the mirror and you tell yourself you matter. You don't have to do it that cheesy, but it's true. In the shower, I'm always telling myself good things. In the shower, I'm always saying things to bring things into my life. And I talk about how the fat is falling off of me and I don't need it. And I tell myself that over and over and over and over. I've done it for years, but I don't always listen. So sometimes you can just tell yourself things and just keep them going in the back of your head, and they can still help you even when you don't even realize that you're doing it. Does that make sense? So that is my little tidbit of info that I wanted to share with you guys today. I'm definitely open to answering your questions and helping you with your situations that you're in. Anything that you guys want to talk about, I am game to talk. So now's your chance. If you have a question, you can go ahead and post it, and I will look through the questions and see if I can find something interesting to talk about for you guys. I'm going to try and say this. Wowlindrika, I really hope that's right. She says, it's very scary to talk about belief in God these days. I was scared to mention it in my videos too. Yes, I completely agree. You just never know how your personal beliefs are going to be taken. So it was a relief to me that I didn't lose I thought I would lose so many followers when I started talking about Jesus. And guess what? I actually gained thousands since I started doing that. So be brave. Don't be afraid to talk about God. You know, if people don't want to hear it, they're not going to hear it. And they probably don't want to hear you anyway. If they're not interested in what you believe in personally, they're not going to stick around. Eventually, they're going to go anyway. Because I have found so many more people who want to talk about their beliefs, but are, like you said, afraid to talk about it on YouTube because they don't want to come across as too churchy or, preachy. Because I'm not telling anybody that they have to believe in God. I'm just saying this is me. And I have to be honest, this is me, I am who I am. I'm not perfect. I mess up. I yell at people. I get in fights. I'm a dance mom, but I'm not like a drama causer, but I'm definitely too involved, and I get labeled as the mom that's annoying, always asking too many questions and wanting too many details. And, we all have our faults, but the thing is, we are just humans, and humans were meant to have relationships with each other. Humans were meant to interact with each other. And the fact that we can be interacting with each other in other countries and across the United States and across oceans is insane. It is such a blessing. And we are so lucky and so blessed in our world today to have that available to us. Because even just before I got married, we didn't have that. The internet was so new. I was afraid of it. I thought it was this newfangled thing and I was never going to have it in my house. Oh, how wrong was I? I have been on the internet since 1999 or 1998 actually, and I've been addicted to it ever since then. So it can be a blessing and a curse, but more than anything, it is definitely a blessing. I love it. Ah, my sister is here too. Oh my goodness. Hi, Angie. Chef Dave is a steam engine, she says. One of the most generous and helpful people I know. Truer words were never said. We should all be lucky enough to marry a man like that. You know, before I met Dave, I was a total brat. I was kind of evil. I would go around to make myself feel better and date guys and break up with them to watch them cry. And it just made me feel better to be mean to people. And when I met Dave, I had the same plan for him. I was going to steal his gorgeous leather jacket, and then I was going to dump him on his butt and say goodbye. But in about 10 minutes, that boy had me won over. He was the most kind, sweet person I had ever met and treated me with such respect, like I was a princess, and I loved that. And he has changed me for the better. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be the mom that I am. I wouldn't be the person that I am. I used to be violent. I used to scream all the time. I used to be mean. And he has tempered me. He has reined me in and brought me down and supported me through times of horrible depression, through horrible difficult situations in our lives. The fact that we are still together is a testimony to his loyalty and his wonderfulness, because if I had been married to me, I would have left me ages ago. So I can't talk about Dave enough because he's awesome. All right. Wow, Lindrika says, is your husband a chef or is that only a pet name? It's actually a YouTube name. Some of my YouTube followers started calling him Chef Dave because he was always cooking the meals. He is not an actual chef for profession. Believe it or not, he is a mechanic. He works as a supervisor for our water company Fleet, and he also does like mechanics on the side. So he works 2 jobs. His second job, he works as needed over at another mechanic shop at night, and he also sometimes fixes cars here in our driveway. So he is super busy. He does all the outside work and he does the cooking. So he's kind of awesome that way, but he would love to be a chef in another life. All right, I really have to go because I got to get my kids over to Shakespeare. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much, all of you who came. Give me a thumbs up if you made it this far. Anybody else too that watches this later when it's not live. I love all of you, and I'm so grateful for every single one of you. You're a light in my life, and I'm so grateful that you watch my channel. Please keep watching, and if you're new, like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Mwah. I'll talk to you again soon.